Hey guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. Here I am. This is our 9th grade in the series of Could I Homeschool for Free? 9th grade edition. Let's go. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We have a 6th grader and a 2nd grader, and this is our 7th year of homeschooling, and I have been coming here all of this week just to find out if I could homeschool for free. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Also down in the description box is the amazing master list that some person on the interwebs put together of free secular resources as of 2022. And that is where I am starting my search because someone has already done that work for me and they're awesome. Please, by all means, if you have access to other resources that you know to be free or very, very low cost, anything like that, anything you've used, anything you have experience with, write down in the comments, please, 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 because we need to build this list. I do not want cost to be a prohibitive factor for someone's education, okay? Because we all have access to these things, and if they are free, that means there's no reason why this can't happen for everyone. So let's get the list going and growing of good and quality and amazing things that also are free. So these are the things that I am planning to include. First of all, 9th grade. Why am I doing 9th grade? Because 9th grade is a few years off of 6th grade, is a few years off of 3rd grade. It gets me an elementary, a middle, and a high school. And I thought that 9th grade it's the closest thing that I am close to, but also I thought it, gets a little harder, I think, the little older that you get, but I wanted to get a good solid foundation. I'm just not there yet. So I honestly don't know a ton about it, but you know what I have done in an effort to prep myself for 9th grade specifically is I went ahead and printed up the graduation requirements for the different diploma paths in Texas so that I can kind of check those boxes off as we're going. Because as far as 3rd grade and 6th grade, I just thought about what am I using? What would I need to fill a hole for? Like for my own kid, 3rd grade, like what would I plan for next year? And 6th grade, like, okay, what are we using this year that I would need to replicate, right? So like, what are we checking? What boxes are we checking? 9th grade, I've not been there yet. So I thought the graduation requirements would be a good place to start for that. So that is what I am using. Those are the resources and the good Google. I am assuming that you have internet, computer, highlighters, pencils, papers, library access, all of that. All of that is necessary for this. So I've not done any kind of PE. Go outside. I don't know what to say to that, okay? Like just go outside. YouTube videos, exercise. I don't know. Go do your own PE. PE is on you. Okay. So these are the things, I have a list over here. I'm going to read you the things that we are going to try to find a hole for, okay? Or find a filler for. English literature, writing, vocabulary, thinking, finance, algebra, biology, history being, I think it's a world history, foreign language, geography, health, test preps, and then some sort of typing computer class because we need to be ready to go out into the world because let's not kid, these are we're serious in 9th grade. So it's more career focused, a little bit more college focused. So we want to make sure that we're doing the things we need to do. Now, in my own grade tracking journey, I have not done very well this year, but it's my goal. I think I am probably going to try to put together some sort of grade tracker. So be sure that as you are using things, you are keeping track of that because especially when it comes time for transcripts for college or not, college isn't everybody's path, let's not kid. Then go and you'll be ready. You'll be ready to go because you've compiled all of the things. So these are the things that I'm going to try to fill the holes in with. Let me say that, you know what? Let's just jump in and I'll get that on the backside. Okay, guys, Shauna here, back with 9th grade. Secular free resources. Let me start by saying this is nowhere near all of them. There are so many resources. I just feel like based on research or based on the list I kind of started from, based on Google, these are the ones that stood out to me. This is what I would build for myself. Again, there's so many options, so I'm not going to pretend like this is it. This is the best, and I haven't
used these. So keep that in mind as well. I've just made it to the point where I feel like I would use them, and I would sit down and I would print everything and I'd start planning it out. So that's where I'm at in this spot right now. I also do not have a high schooler, but I am thinking about high school with the intent to go to college. So that is where I'm at. This is how I plan this now based on not having a high schooler. But all right, let's jump into it. So I'm going to start with the big subjects, except science, where there's so much to talk about for science. So I'm going to circle back to that. But let's start here. Okay, so for ninth grade English, I would go with Common Lit. Now, I can't actually look into these yet because you have to verify your account. I don't intend to use it, so I'm not doing that. There are like tons of free resources on here that you can use. They've got reading score. I mean, this is good stuff. You can verify your account very easily. There's like one of 3 ways. Even in Texas, it would be easy for me. So I think that's great because it's not always easy when I don't have an official homeschool card, paper, any of that. So it can be really hard for me to verify I'm a homeschooler because I don't have membership, umbrella school, letter of intent, any of that. But they do make it possible. They just want you to do it. So just so you know, my language arts, English Lit for ninth grade, I would choose Common Lit 316. Moving right along, I would I've given you options. I've given you options for language arts the whole time, just because it's hard to decide what you would want to do. Fish Tank Learning is also an amazing and free resources. I think you really need to go through what you want to do, what you want to study. And I like the Fish Tank approach there. They've got it kind of split up by gender, right? So girl power, boy power kind of thing. Lots of Shakespeare. I like both options. So if you are curious, I like both of them. There's a supplement you can pop over Khan Academy, reading and vocabulary, just to kind of make sure you've got the kind of test taking skills down. Really easy to supplement with Khan Academy. I've got some more vocabulary stuff coming up in a minute, but I don't know which tab it's on. So let me go ahead. Nah, we'll go. Well, you can handle it. You can handle me jumping around, I think. Okay, so English, Fish Tank Learning or Common Lit, and then supplement with Khan Academy, just because at this point we're getting serious about test prep. As far as algebra goes, Fish Tank Learning is the only option that I'm presenting you. You can easily supplement with things like Khan Academy. The deal with the Fish Tank Learning is I can't tell how much actual worksheet practice there is, so you may want to supplement with Khan Academy to get the actual practice in, just so that you know. You know what? Right here, let me pause and just tell you. I started with the printed graduation requirements for Texas, and I went through and I was like, okay, you've got to have this many credits of this and this many credits of that and this many credits of that. And that is how I started building ninth grade. I worked my way backwards, right? So I know I need, 4 credits of English. I'm going to need a full credit of English every year. I also went through and figured out what qualifies as a credit. So a credit is 120 to 150 instruction hours a year, okay? Or to qualify for a credit. So everything thus far is a full credit. There's enough instruction time there to qualify as a full credit. You can transcript this as a full credit. So I want you to know that I'm thinking about it, as we're transcripting it. That's my goal here. Now, geography, if I am not mistaken, I believe that this is also a full credit. This is through Georgia Virtual. Let me see if I can go. No, because I'm not. Okay. I can't really go back a ton, but they have a lot. Okay. It should not have been that hard to find these things, but it was. But this is why I will link it for you. Okay. Georgia Virtual Learning. They have all kinds of things available, so many things available. And so, um, yeah, you can speech credit, a lit credit. I mean, you can do all kinds of things here. Uh, and you can go in and utilize all of this, and it is amazing. So huge resource. Absolutely. I've got them pulled up for, I think, a couple of things. So world geography is one of them, which is so cool. Okay, so for world history project. Why? Because they're on it. They've put this together. There's no sense in reinventing the wheel, and they have done it very well. Now, I thought it was really important for ninth grade, because I'm not necessarily only thinking about what is required of public school counterparts and what's required to get into college. I'm thinking about what do our kids need to know for life, right? And something that our children are going to need to learn for life is personal finance and economics. So I do have 2 options available here. That is not personal finance. Here we go. I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, so we've got one program that is available through the FDIC. It's completely free and available. And then also through Georgia Virtual Learning Academy. And again, you can click through and go straight in and do all of the things. And it is amazing. Honestly, it's amazing to help you out and get you going. So 2 options there for personal finance and economics. Now moving right along, critical thinking. Oh no, this is programming. Okay, so this is our computer instruction. There are a lot of colleges that offer full courses. And they're free. Some of them you can see there's 120 hours of instruction, which means it's a full credit in computer science. This is the introduction, the super introduction course, so it'd be half credit. There are some of the colleges where you can basically do it for free. If you'd like it transcripted, then you can pay a fee, but you don't necessarily have to do that. And it does have a a certificate of completion. And if you're transcripting it for your own transcript, it's not a very big deal. Okay, this page isn't loading. Okay, so Sailor Academy has an introduction to critical thinking and logic, 40 hours. So it's a half credit with a free certificate to get your kids going in an actual critical thinking curriculum. So again, we're prepping them for life. Now, circling back, I found some great vocabulary prep because we are thinking college. We're thinking college prep. We're thinking test prep. So you do need to have your kids getting ready in vocabulary, really expanding their vocabulary so that they're ready. Now, these are both 2 websites, free games, free freshman level, 9th grade level vocabulary lists, and then you can use Khan Academy for SAT prep, and they've got it set up so that they're learning the new digital version of SAT prep. Now, with the exception of biology or with science, we've covered our main topics here. So let me just go into some electives and some other things that could be good. Okay, if you're looking for a fine arts credit, musictheory.net has an extensive collection of free lessons and exercises that can get you going for a good fine arts credit. We also have Art Through Time, a Global View available here from Annenberg Learner, which is another course. It's a series, takes you through so many 13 units of art history study. I would say this is probably a good half credit. This is probably a good half credit. And then you could supplement any 2 of these could probably be a solid credit together because this is 13 units is quite lengthy study here. So again, the goal is that 120 hour minimum for a full college credit. So anything half of that is going to be, a half credit. And I like the way that this list has everything broken out because it lets you know how much commitment it is, how many weeks, how much time. Also, Khan Academy, they offer so many things. Now, this goes over, it's got, tests and videos and things like that. This goes over uh, music as well. So, any pairing of these, you can get a really solid and rounded art credit. In a minute, I'm going to take you back and we're going to look at the Khan Academy offerings, because there's some resources you can really use when it comes into high school. Crash Course is amazing. Khan Academy is amazing. Just the internet as a whole is amazing. All right, I did go ahead and find a couple of health curriculums, because I this is a lot. I'm not saying I would do this all in 1 year. I'm not saying we would do it, all at the same time. I just wanted to make sure to present to you that you could have a very, very thorough, deep, well-rounded education very easily, with just a bit of research and some elbow grease. This is Health Smart Virginia. It is a curriculum and it's all hyperlinked right in line. It's got worksheets and things like that to help you have a full health body systems curriculum. There is also Health and Medicine from Khan Academy, which is very lengthy. I like Khan Academy because they'll use things like, videos and crash courses and things like that. So I like when those things are all put together. Now, back at Annenberg Learner, Destinos, an introduction to Spanish. Now, this is something that I don't think is actually available anymore, but somewhere in here I found it are the resources, and you can find and get to the resources. So for Spanish or foreign language, this is available. They are stellar quality, good old 1980s video production here. And there is also Spanish Playground. There's going to be ads on these things because they're free. Spanish Playground, where you can put together printables and videos and games and things like that. Now, we are headed into science, and let's talk about science. I am assuming that you want a science that you can carry over to build a life, a career, a future, a college plan on. So I did a lot of research on science, okay? I really did. Here we go, because I think science is one of the things that scares people so much, and it doesn't have to. So I found this Biology Everywhere specialization. It's a program out of University of Colorado Boulder. It's beginner level. It is free. I think you can transcript it for a fee, but you can get pretty much everything that you need out of this. Okay, so it's very in depth. It goes through many things. I think there are several courses in the series that take you through and really get you going. 4 separate courses. You can supplement with Khan Academy. Khan Academy has high school biology and GSS and high school biology. They are different. Now, this is what Khan Academy has to say about it. They're saying if you are using it as a supplement to your in-class instruction that follows in GSS, then you would use that one. If you want a biology education, then you would use the high school biology. Both are good. I would pair them with Crash Course at minimum. I would probably do all of these together. Now, with sciences comes labs. Labs aren't free. I mean, labs are work and they are cost and things like that. I found, and there's a whole list of them, free online virtual labs. So your kid can check the lab component. Now, I have several more that I will link down below, but I wanted to show you the things that you can do. Welcome to Fly Lab. Now, is this stellar? Like websiting? God, no. But can you run a virtual lab and get credit? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. So go through Salt Lake City Community College videos and virtual labs, virtual biology lab, the biology project, lab exchange. This is the whole list of places you can go in MIT OpenCourseWare biology to do your virtual labs, virtual biology labs. Guys, these are real. These are things you can do. You can run a lab. You can do experiments virtually. Okay. We're back to Georgia virtual learning. Um, it is, it is amazing. It is amazing the things that are available on the internet. Okay. So you launch your model and you do your projects. Is this real? And you can do it. I don't want you thinking you cannot get a quality education or that you have to spend $1 million. Okay. Not even if you can't spend $1 million, but if you just don't want to spend $1 million. These are available. These are real. This is a real thing. You can do this. Okay. It takes some elbow work, some elbow grease and some leg work and some printing and some downloading and things like that. And some sweat equity's got to go into it. But you can do this. You can do it for free. You can do it secular, and you can get your kids into college. Okay. You can prep them for the real world. You can set them up for life. You can give them a good education. So anything at all, if you want to add down below, comments, add it to lists. I will probably do an Instagram post so that we can get all those comments in one spot. So be sure to go over and follow over there. And yeah, I hope you found it valuable. Be kind to me because, again, this is just doing my own research, what I would do, where I would start, where I would go next. So best of luck, guys.
All right, guys, I hope that it was helpful. Now, ninth grade. Ninth grade, again, we're looking at colleges and we're looking at life. We're looking at the rest of life. It is very important, and you should absolutely prioritize volunteer opportunities, because volunteer opportunities are the new thing that is setting kids apart. So being able to manage time, life, all of that, wonderful and great, but giving back is very important. So find an opportunity for your child to volunteer. Very important. Also, if I had to be low cost instead of no cost, if I had $100 to spend and invest in this, I would prioritize some sort of science lab for myself through local groups. We sign up as a group to go to the HMNS, Houston Museum of Natural Science classes. They have dissection labs, they have chemistry labs, they have advanced labs, and they work out to just under $100 per person, depending on how many people you can get signed up, the whole 9 yards. I would prioritize some sort of science lab. If your kid's path is not necessarily science, I would maybe prioritize dual credit so that you are having all of this work for you. In Texas, there's a lot of programs to help you out where it's not like you're paying full college tuition. And if your kid is not college bound, which a lot of them know they're not at that age, I would prioritize some sort of career training, something that is feeding into what they want to do, trainings, apprenticeships, things like that. So those would be the things, if I had the money, where I'd invest it. That is what I have to say about that. So guys, been wild, right? Please, any resources at all down in the comments, please share. I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. There are going to be people who come for me and say that, using Khan Academy is not the same, it's not as good, it's only a supplement. However, that may be true for the curriculums that we use at home, but how does that stack up for public school? Because that's what it was written for. So I don't know that that's the case. So I just want to point that out. There's going to be people who tell me it's not enough. But is it enough? I don't know. I'm not a college admissions person and I don't have a 9th grader yet. So let me know down in the comments, but be nice. I'm doing my best.